That's good enough. Yeah. All right. You want to start off?
Oh, shit. I'd like to have a brewski.
There you go. There's your brewski right there, sir. First video podcast.
Oh, shit.
Hey, cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Michelob is always good. Go ahead and you want to intro that out. I forgot I can't point at you now. to cue you.
He's actually got to look at me now.
Oh,
He's got to look at this
shit.
ugly mug. Anyways, hi, guys, and welcome to Car Rambo. Oh, gosh. Jeez. Damn.
This is perfect. No,
Hey,
this is all getting left
It's a
in.
Thursday. Got the club going up on a Thursday. Anyways, welcome to Car Ramble, Season 1, Episode 5, first video podcast. How you feeling, Matt? I caught a mid-drink on purpose, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Because, like, I have to, like, I'm looking at you, but I can see the camera right there out of my peripheral. So I'm like,
It's okay. It's okay. They're our guests. We can welcome them in as well, you know.
That's true. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Which, by the way, I know we've talked many a times about my dog. You may see him in and out of this. He might jump in my lap a few times, whatever, whatnot. But Fuji, he is in the house, too.
He's now going under my
He's currently being
chair.
a semi-good boy, so we're going to just try not to... Yeah, I know. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you might hear him whining in the background a little bit.
Yeah, we might have to put him up, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about F1. Going to talk about some of our favorite drivers, favorite teams, why, get into the fact that we actually ended up watching Las Vegas together.
That was such a good race.
It was.
That was such a good race.
It was, despite all of the bullshit that was around it,
Yeah.
right? Because there was a lot of things tied up in it money-wise. I think it's really cool. Well,
Oh, no, the shit storm made the whole weekend amazing. I love it when that shit, like, just
that part.
the crazy shit.
I will
love
say,
it. It's hilarious.
As a semi, I won't even say that I'm a fan of them just yet, but I felt bad for a couple people that were on grid that weekend, and the way that some of the things played out for them. But hey, that's life. But yeah,
You talking about like the guests or like the drivers or?
no, I'm talking about in specific, I'm talking about Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, I shout out to McLaren as well, but in specific, I was talking about Ferrari in that situation. But anyways, well, why don't we just take it from the top? So F1, for everyone that's watching right now, I actually just got into F1 this year. I would say I was into it last year, but this was more of actually jumping into it. Prior to that, my knowledge of it came from watching Michael Schumacher racing on TV whenever I was younger.
Long time
And then
ago.
as soon as Lewis Hamilton jumped in, I think I watched like one a race or so. I didn't know that, all of the constructors and stuff at the time. I didn't understand that he was with McLaren, I believe, at the time and so forth. So
Yeah, him and Alonso were probably teammates whenever you were watching, if you were watching the Schumacher era.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a very, very interesting time.
Yes. And I've been slowly learning about that now, obviously, in which shout out to Matt. If you guys ever have a friend that will allow you to use like their Crunchyroll account or something like that, he's not letting me use his Crunchyroll account. I have my own because I'm a weeb like that. But
We both are.
with the F1 TV, I actually pay him in beer, and occasionally, we go out and eat or hang out, whatever, and like it's cool. I've gotten a chance to like watch stuff and like check out documentaries that I probably wouldn't have otherwise watched. So
They have a lot of cool history stuff on there, and just like their extra stuff. It's really cool. Like I used to, like, I think the first year I had it, I paid for it during like the racing season, and then as soon as the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was over, I just like paused my subscription basically until like preseason started again. And then I had realized that I was looking on there like during, I think, summer break the next year or something like that, and I realized, oh my God, there's like a lot of shit on here. Like a lot of really good content on here that is more than just, the race, the pre-race, post-race, press conferences, all that. There's way more than that on there. So
I definitely feel like shout out to Brad.
Yeah.
he was the one that mentioned to watch like through the decades.
Yeah.
And for a while there, it's like I understood obviously from like the different motors and things like that, but then started adding in the drivers, your James Hunts, your Nicky Laudas, your Prost. You might have to help me out with this. I think his name's Nicky Rick. The guy that wasn't supposed to drive F1 that drove F1 got paid $25 million to not drive for Ferrari for a year, or like walk away from it. Very funny on the team radio all the time. There's like the famous one of him is like, "Hello, can you hear me?"
Oh, Kimi Räikkönen.
Yes, fucking Kimi.
Kimi. Dude, Kimi's the GOAT, man.
Facts.
Kimi Räikkönen is. I know a lot of people, especially one of our friends, will kind of give me shit for this because he's a big Seb fan. But out of all the drivers who aren't on the grid right now, Kimi is the best, just because of his whole entire attitude.
I agree 110%. I feel like if you were to bring someone like a Kimi to a AlphaTauri or a Williams, who is in need of kind of like energy, if you ask me.
Well, Kimi, that's the thing though. Kimi doesn't have any energy.
It's not even like the energy, but it's that kind of pizzazz that would bring like.
He just does it for fun.
Oh, Kimi.
And that's quoting him like verbatim.
True. I mean, the man was sleeping in his car on grid before the race.
Yeah,
before the race, like
that. The whole the yacht thing.
The cojones on this man.
Dudes. I mean, Finnish people they just have their own. Like the Finnish personality is just something totally different, and there's two sides to it. You have Valtteri Bottas, Valtteri Bottas, and then Kimi Räikkönen. Those are literally the two Finnish personalities. I'm probably going to get flamed in the comments for that one, but
I mean, Valtteri is always out there with his butt out. So from what I understand, he loves to bathe in the nude, or I guess that's like a thing in his country.
Oh, you mean sauna?
Oh,
or
that's
the sauna thing. And then, the sauna is like a big Finnish thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Japanese saunas and Korean spas and stuff, so like I get it.
The thing with the Finns, it's like the cold exposure, hot exposure, cold exposure, hot exposure thing. Mm-hmm. It's actually really good for you. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, far. Oh, my bad.
I was gonna ask you too. Talking about Valtteri, are you gonna buy the calendar?
Oh, didn't they make like a whole steamy calendar with like all the drivers?
No, it's just Valtteri's ass. It's called Bot Ass. Are you gonna buy one?
Him and Mr. Aruma Bottas, Bottas from Formula Drift.
Bakchis?
Him and Mr. Butt Cheeks need to get together.
Don't shit on my man Odie like that.
Yo, shouts out to Team Odie.
Shout out to the field suspension team. I'm about to be putting y'all's coilovers on my car here soon.
Hey, big facts, yo. And of course, my boy Damien is a big fan of you guys as well. And anyways, we're supposed to be getting back to F1, but before we do, I would like to just go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here because I am going to need to put Mr. Fuji up.
Or he's at least getting kind of rowdy.
Maybe take him outside because I think he's got potty. You got potty? Fuji, need pee-pee? Need potty? Okay, he's just, look at, you got a little smile, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we will be right back.
So, back from the break, what were we talking about?
F1.
Kimi Räikkönen and the Bottas calendar and everything.
Oh, yeah. No, I will probably not be obtaining the Bottas calendar.
Lame.
But I am looking to try and buy my first piece of F1 swag sometime this year, maybe going into next year. I'd like to, we'll get into that later. Because it's about one of my favorite teams. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the Las Vegas Grand Prix, what?
Well, wait a minute.
What?
They know how I got into F1. Partly thanks to you and thanks to some other interests that I had. But what about yourself, man? What got you into F1?
I was basically Brad.
Brad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Shouts out to Brad.
Shouts out to Brad. He's currently in Japan right now. He should be coming to visit here soon, though.
Yes, and we hope to have him on the podcast too.
Oh,
so.
yeah. We need to do that.
Yeah, we need to reach out to him pretty soon. So if you
For
watch
sure.
this and you hear this, Brad, we want you.
We're coming for you.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it was basically just Brad, and then, man, I really hate to say it, but when the first season of Drive to Survive came out, I was kind of hooked. Like now that I know more about like the actual inside bits of F1 and how like a lot of the drivers are talking about how like just unrealistic Drive to Survive is and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's kind of lame now, but I am one of those Americans who really got into F1 after Drive to Survive, and especially like the 2018 Red Bull era with Daniel Ricciardo and all that, like that season. I really would have wished that I really wish I had seen that season outside of the lens of Drive to Survive, because I feel like it would have been a little bit better, I guess you could say.
I can understand that. For me, Drive to Survive was a tough watch for me, honestly, at first, just because, I do like to dab my own self into motorsports media,
right,
whether that's content creation, both digital gaming and actual IRL. It conflicted me a lot because
some of it's a little campy.
Well, it just didn't seem like it built enough character for me. Like it seemed almost like I don't know how I should word this, but it almost seemed like Netflix didn't want the drivers to seem like the superstars of it. They felt like pointing out like a team manager, director, whatnot was like the better option. In which,
are you talking about like how they really focus in on Gunther?
Yeah, like Gunther and like
he's a good personality though. Like he's got a really big personality, and I think he
does. Like they all have their personalities, but it's just like for me as an enthusiast, I think we all want to hear more from the drivers, right? But then as an onlooker, I feel like it would almost be better to hear like we already hear very little from the drivers already, right? It'd be almost better to almost like only see them in the clips that they're actually being needed with involvement within their managers, right?
Yeah.
Like that would be more what I would think would be better. But that's just me. And I think that would help intrigue enough people, because all the action shots would intrigue people to then say, oh, I need to watch the race. I need to watch behind the scenes, the next post race and all that.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying with the whole thing of them needing to focus on the drivers a lot more.
Or rather wanting to.
Yeah. Well, and if you can find like more, I guess, personal looks in the drivers' lives if you go to like their YouTube channels and stuff like that, but it's not like they don't really shout them out very much or anything like that. So I kind of get that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also kind of up to the driver, because not all drivers are very public like that, So
yeah, like Max is not public at all.
No, not at all. But I mean, he drives enough on iRacing that people have jokes and memes about him and his daughter coming into his room and all that.
Well, it's not his daughter, but
Max is a stepdaddy, in case you didn't know that.
Well, they're not. Yeah,
he's a stepdaddy.
He's a stepdaddy.
He's a stepdaddy.
And you got to zoom in on the eyes for that one. Stepdaddy.
But I mean, and the thing is like with F1 and then getting a chance to join a group chat that's all involved in interest in it as well.
Yeah. It's not the most active thing in the world, but on race weekends, it's like everyone's like, oh my God. I actually have to scroll up on race weekends because I miss stuff.
Same. I mean, like, but I try to be the one that's on time for races, and I think I'm kind of seen as like this hopeful newbie that's kind of in the group right now, and I like it because
for sure.
I love getting to watch all the other races. Like the thing that you guys have to realize is whenever Austin happened, so Circuit of the Americas, whenever that happened, I was in Texas that weekend, and a couple in our group chat went, or actually I think two couples went that weekend.
Yeah, Bryant did too.
Okay.
Bryant and his wife did too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then there was like two couples that went.
4 of our friends.
One couple decided like, this isn't the move. We're just gonna watch it, elsewhere, whatnot. They offered up tickets. Toro fucked me $250 fucking dollars of my money that weekend. Otherwise, I would have probably picked up that ticket to try and go despite all the traffic and the BS.
How'd that happen?
I was looking to Toro a car for the weekend because I was going to Texas for a concert, and the Toro slipped. It's supposed to be a Mazda Miata, a new one.
The Indy.
Indy,
yeah.
It'd be the Indy,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, yes, it would be because there's NA,
fourth
NB,
gen,
NC, 4D.
Yeah, 4D.
4D. I was supposed to get that, and like the lady, so like on Toro within an hour, if you don't like cancel it or whatever, then like you don't owe anything. Well, the lady didn't tell me until literally like perfectly 8 minutes after the fucking fact that like I couldn't get the car. And so instead of telling me early enough to where I could have got it canceled, got all of my money back at once, I had to wait over the weekend. So I had to wait until almost Wednesday to get that back.
Oh, yeah.
So even while I was there, I could only get like minimal stuff and stuff because I was traveling very light because I was going down there for work, a show, and then to come back.
That's right, yeah.
So
yeah, that was that weekend that you.
But if I would have had my extra money with me, I could have been like, "Oh, cool!" I would have felt comfortable with going ahead, transferring over the extra money that I had, and been like, "Oh, cool, let's go." But without that, it's like, pop a tire, some. I gotta AAA tow myself somewhere, right? That extra 15 miles is where that 250 would have came from. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it always sucks whenever stuff like that happens. But I mean, it doesn't even really seem like it was something. It was out of your control, you know?
Yep.
So
it was, and it pissed me off, but...
It sucks, but...
Yeah. I stayed at a nice hotel, so whenever I woke up, I went for a jog, and then I came back and watched F2, I think it is, or is it... It's not F2, it was the women's Formula.
Formula... The W Series?
Yes.
I thought they got rid of that.
No. Ooh, there's thunder outside.
There is thunder outside.
It wasn't raining when I was outside, by the way.
That's probably coming in. It was misting a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought they got rid of the W Series. Or this was the last year of the W Series.
I think it might be the last series.
Yeah.
So
because now they're doing the F1 Academy.
Yeah, because they had like
half the power. Are you sure it wasn't?
They had like half the power of, I think, the F2 cars or something like that.
That would have been F1 Academy then.
I'll have to go and check my facts, and we'll put it somewhere here in between us.
Put a little text thing.
I'm pretty sure that it was F1 Academy. Well, yeah, I think you might have been right. Well, no. Because isn't the girl that she test drove the Aston Martin?
There's a lot of women in F1 Academy.
I know, but there's one in specific that Jessie something, I think. Jessie Hop. Ooh, I could be. I don't want to butcher that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was watching that while I was in the hotel, and it was lovely, and it made me like really get enthusiastic. And like, eventually, I'll have to show you guys like my sim rig and stuff. But I enjoy actually playing F1 23 online. It's super fun, very competitive, very hard game to play, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, and you're pretty good at that too. Like,
getting there.
You're better than me. A lot better than me.
I've just had more time is all. That's all. But like, it makes me like doing that. So between this being my first year, the sim stuff that I have, waking up and watching like that race and like staying up numerous nights, the Australian race I think was the first night I stayed up super late to watch a race.
Yeah. Australia is like, it's always like 2-3 in the morning or something like that.
Start time.
Yeah.
And that's not even like them on grid.
Right. Yeah. That's like when the pre-race show starts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, same thing with like Japan and Singapore as well. You're always like, because that's like, I think they're all basically kind of in the same time zone-ish.
I'm sad because I really wanted to watch Japan and I fell asleep.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched Japan either, actually. Are we on a surge protector right now?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But my phone is not.
What's plugged into the PC, right?
Yeah, let's turn my Xbox off. How about that?
Okay, yeah. We're gonna we'll be right back. There's a lot of thunder and kind of seeing lightning flashes through the window, so
we'll be right back.
Yeah,
guys.
we got to do some technical stuff.
See.
So yeah, before we had to
before that bitch Mother Nature wanted to interrupt us.
The weather break. So we were talking about like early in the morning races, or I guess late at night.
Yeah,
us.
late at night for us, early morning. I mean, hey, European fans and Asian fans got their taste of their medicine that we have to get from them.
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What was it?
It must have been I take it back.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty late for us, so it must have been like evening for them. So it was probably a pretty cush ride for them.
No, I don't know. I think it might have been early morning for them because usually for them, the races are in the afternoon.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
they're pretty early morning.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
us,
I wonder
so.
how many people stayed up to watch the full
FP1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so there wasn't much of FP1. about 9.5 minutes worth of it before Las Vegas decided to claim its first victim.
Sin City did a sin.
Yeah, that's for sure. So yeah, I guess if anybody that's following F1 has seen it, but yeah, Carlos Sainz hit a water drain that the concrete had been broken around, and it kind of I guess lifted some of the concrete and some of the water drain out of the ground because F1 cars make a lot of fucking downforce and they suck stuff off the road apparently. and I think if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the dude that drove over it before him was Lewis. It was one of the Mercedes, I thought.
I think so.
Yeah. So basically, Lewis sucked the. It was all in their plan to get second in the constructors.
In FP1, we're gonna do an extreme downforce move.
Right. Yeah.
We need you to drive consistently over the pop. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It would fuck his shit. It will fuck his shit.
It will fuck his shit. That's not how Toto Wolff talks though. He talks like this. Toto Wolff. Hello, my name is Toto Wolff. I talk like this.
I will say that is a pretty high level like conspiracy you got there. I would like to kind of divulge into that.
I'm sticking to it now. It just popped into my head because
I would like to divulge into that because I think that's definitely a thing. Because now it's like, who did Lando crash in front or behind of?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think Lando's crash was part. No, Lando just spun out.
He did.
He had he just lost grip.
But who was it that went before him? I think it was like one of the Alpines. I think maybe. I think it was one of the Alpines that was in front of him.
I don't know I don't remember who was in front of him right before. Because what was that? He spun out in turn 11 and was sliding through that small straight into turn 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the way down to the barriers there.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly wreck.
Well, and it wasn't really even a small straight. That was like an 8th mile straight.
Yeah. Big time straight.
Or more than that.
That course, like on the sim, that course is difficult in the sense that
it's fast as fuck.
You're going very fast. Very, very fast.
As fuck. And that one time, what was it? It was a couple months ago that you had me drive it on the game.
Oh yeah, and, before the actual mappings and stuff started coming out more often.
Yeah, so they put it in the game. You'd said they just put it in the game, right? Yeah. And I just driving just single runs, like I couldn't pinpoint whether it would be good racing or not, because it was just like so, like you. Excuse me. Like you got these just stupid fast straights, and then into like just the 90-degree into chicanes and stuff like that. Like
I do have to say now that I've gotten more driving time, I think that corner in particular, that's I am not good with numbers on courses, so you'll have to forgive me, but it's past the first DRS zone, I believe, where you're coming down that straight and then you have to make a hard right and then you start to come into a chicane. On the simulator, you actually are needing to go a little bit outside, or if you're really good, you can find your way on the inside of it. But he's showing me this.
Are you point to which one you're talking about?
This is pits, right?
No. That's the start finish right there.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you're coming in here, talking about this part, the hat.
Oh yeah,
the Arby's hat.
Yeah, the Arby's.
The Arby's hat of the upside down pig.
Yeah, so that's let's see, turn 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 5 and 6.
So 5
That's
and
where
6.
everybody was getting super close to the T-Mobile banner right there.
Yeah, you practically
Alex
have to in order to
Albon.
break late, and in order to do that.
Alex Albon actually lost a tire in, what was it, qualifying or FP3?
3, I think.
Is it FP3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he lost a tire in FP3 trying to get through that. So that was interesting.
And but what I really liked most though about the race is just how Americanized it was to some degree. And I say that kind of laughing and half-heartedly and happy and sad at the same time, because it really was Americanized. And like, if there was ever a time to say, hey, watch F1, it's sorry, Miami, but Las Vegas stole it from you this year.
Yeah, I would agree.
And Texas.
Yeah, well, I mean, Coda's always fucking goated. Like, Coda's amazing. And I say that also especially after actually going there, not for F1 obviously, but for a different motorsports event. But yeah, Coda is an amazing. The whole facility is awesome, and I think the track just flows well. You know, it's difficult, and I think it makes for some good racing, and yeah, I just think it's a really good track.
I think it's a really good track too as well. I would love to go and drive it in person sometime. This is your call out to you, Bryson Lay, if you're listening to this. Number one, we would love to have you on the podcast. But number two, sick. I would love to go for a sick ride along. I think I've found myself becoming more interested in grip racing because of Formula One. Not even just as like a motorsport in terms of actually participating or anything, but like the whole thing. Like proud Brad moment here. He'd be proud. Right. I downloaded F1 2023 Manager just to try it, and like it's a fucking lot. It's a lot, but it's given me more insight and hope to what else is around the corner. You know, I even piqued an interest at actually looking at a job for an NHRA drag racing team based out of Oklahoma that's hiring right now. I actually looked in, and not as a media guy, actually as like a tech or like a
just doing
roadie
like
pit guy,
pit crew stuff,
something, yeah. And I'm like, that would be a pretty fucking interesting job.
It'd be sick.
Yeah,
it'd be sick. Those guys, like, man, though, I think because the NHRA cars, those are the cars where like they pull the engine out after every run and like pull it apart and rebuild it. That's insane.
There's a lot to learn in that, and on top of that, you know, after being in one crew, honestly, I feel like to some degree the sky's the limit, depending on how you can work that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know how to do one thing, you can learn how to do another thing. You can move. So, I'd love to like maybe take a step in that direction. Like that's something that I think is cool about how F1. I will say this: I think F1 has pulled in more people now because of Drive to Survive. Unfortunately, and
I don't think it's unfortunate. I just think it's. Because eventually, if people get deeper into F1 as in like doing their own research after a while, I feel like they exactly, yeah, no, exactly. Like I feel like people that do that will. I knew you were gonna do that. But yeah, people that go through it like that, like I feel like. That's still a fan. I mean, it's still, and even honestly, even the people that don't do that, it's still a fan of F1. You're still watching the races. It's showing Europe and the FIA that Americans are interested in Formula One.
Very much so. Now, one thing that I would like to kind of talk briefly about, and then of course we should probably get a little bit more into our favorite teams and such, but how do you feel about the whole Mario Andretti and Cadillac and Audi and rule changes for like 2024? Well, no, 20. Well, there's some changes for 24, but 26 I think is the big time, and then like 2028 is. This is 350s. Dude, I have 350Zs and Chargers drive through here all the time doing donuts. There's like a broke down Mustang in this area that's a fucking V6 that's auto-fucking-matic that he waits until it rains like this. So I'm surprised I haven't heard him tonight. Probably hear him later.
He's out there practicing, man. He's trying to. You gonna see him show up at the next
big no Kmart takeover vibes,
yeah.
bruh.
Yeah, right. I literally thought that was something from like the TV. So he's just got his Forza garage, kind of just doing its little cinematic thing on the TV, and for some reason I thought it was coming from the TV.
Boy, that's a KT in that thing, man. We ain't got no V6s around here, except for the IS.
Well, that's
my 250.
Your IS. Your IS.
My IS.
Hold on, don't get it twisted. Your IS is a V6.
All right. I'll drink to that.
I will say I do think the Lexus V8s sound good. Way better than a fucking VQ.
Facts. I will ask you this, since you're talking about the sounds of things. Which was your favorite engine of choice in F1?
Oh, fucking V12s, of course. The specifically the Red Bull blown diffuser setup, okay, where they were using basically the exhaust gases to go over the diffuser to give more downforce in the rear. It was something crazy. Like,
I wonder how many diffusers they went through.
They had some diffusers. Kind of God, I wish I had done read up on that if I'd known that you were going to ask that question, because
it was just something that's curious to me, because honestly, I like the way that I would probably say the V10s. The V10, V8 area was kind of
the V10s and V8s sounded really good too, actually.
But there's a huge soft spot that I have now for the flat 12s, I think it was, they had way back in the day.
Oh, that was the
way back
Porsche thing.
The Porsche flat.
I think that was that an F1? No, that was LM. That was LM.
That was F1.
They made an F1 engine? Fuck, maybe I need to.
I'm pretty positive.
On my history.
I was watching that on your F1 TV account.
Really?
Watch the on F1 TV. So this goes out to both everyone watching and to Sir Matt here on F1 TV. The documentary series and stuff. They have how they're some of the main constructors were made. So it's McLaren, Ferrari, Williams, Mercedes, Red Bull.
The Testarossa had a flat 12 in it.
Mm-hmm. But they have documentaries and TV shows aspiring back to then. So yeah,
Porsche in 1947.
Yep, way back. But
and then 64 and 65, the Ferrari 512 F1 car.
Mm-hmm. And let me just tell you, they sound pretty fucking gnarly too.
Yeah,
you'll have to listen to a clip after this, or pick up a clip if you'd like to. They've got these girly sounds to them that are just
very gurgly and yeah. That thing sounds angry. I don't know. That probably picked up shit in the mic, but
probably. But yeah,
I'd say I thought it sounded good.
They sound very angry.
Yeah, it did. It really did. So okay, so yeah, that's pretty sick. I didn't know that the fucking Testarossa had a fucking flat 12 in it.
Yep.
I'm definitely not as much of a Ferrari fan as you are, so you got to forgive me for that one.
I am. Which, speaking of Ferrari, you would probably think, knowing me, that would be my favorite team, but it's not.
No, I know it's not. What is your favorite team?
It's been a really interesting year. I know right off the back, most people.
I'm gonna guess it. Alfa Romeo.
No.
AlphaTauri.
No.
Williams.
No.
Mercedes.
No.
Well, I'm gonna get to one of them eventually.
So
wait, actually, no. I know who it is because you mentioned one of their F1 Academy drivers earlier. It's Aston Martin.
Yes, I'm a huge Aston Martin fan. Despite Stroll,
you love Lance Stroll. Don't
I don't
you?
fucking love.
You
I don't
love
like
Lance Stroll so much.
Stroll, baby Stroll, you're lucky you got Daddy Stroll. Okay,
you like his.
I'm a Fernando fan first. Let's just put it like that. I'm a Fernando.
You love Lance Stroll's new facial hair look he's going for, making him trying to look hella old.
If you don't chill your butt hoss calendar butt cheek talking ass up for just a second here. Okay?
No, on the real though, Lance, shave that fucking face of yours. You look haggard as fuck, dude.
I mean, he's trying to go for like that the OC look, you know. He's trying to look distressed so that way when he comes back next year and he qualifies in third and actually stays in third or fourth or whatever it was, he does it, right?
He was within the top 10 in the drivers' championship.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not too terrible.
Not too terrible, but you know.
But he's not great either, though. And when he does very terribly, he throws a tantrum about it.
Aston Martin, though, is not just comprised of Lance Stroll, although he is a very valuable piece in this sense because his dad is the owner. If you don't know that, go do the research on that. There's a bunch of funny-ass memes behind that, too. But
Lawrence Stroll has a weather controlling device. He can control the weather.
He's gonna fly his balloon over your country.
He did it in Brazil.
Well, I'm an Aston Martin fan, followed by McLaren, followed by Ferrari, followed by AlphaTauri. But that's again,
okay.
If we're doing this right, if we're really doing this like this, it would be like a Fernando fan, followed by a Lewis fan, followed by a Leclerc fan, followed by a Ricciardo fan.
Is that why a certain person called you out in the group chat
About Ricciardo and I didn't give a fuck to say whatever? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I stand by that, bitch.
So,
I stand by that.
So as far as teams, and I almost hate saying this because you're gonna give me a lot of shit for it.
I ain't gonna give you no shit. As long as you don't say Haas, we're good. No, I'm kidding. Don't say Williams and we're good.
Bro,
I like Williams because of the background of them, but if I had to take a real guess, I mean, honestly, we could say it's Alfa Romeo because, you know, you're talking about some Bottas.
Yeah, no, it's not Alfa Romeo. However, their livery for the Vegas race was sick. That was my favorite livery of the whole weekend.
It was sick.
I don't know what you call it, like playing card aesthetic or like casino aesthetic.
Yeah, like a casino thing.
Yeah, like I love casino aesthetic, like playing cards, dice, you know, the spades, hearts, clubs.
Actually,
diamonds,
my prom picture from like freshman year was a casino theme. That came up in my memories today. I'll show it to you later, but I'll bring it up on the screen
pop
too
it up
to
on
show
the
you
screen
guys.
or right there.
And actually, I still look the same to some degree.
Yeah,
freshman year, baby. Yeah. You'll get a good laugh out of it when you see it.
I bet you. I mean,
well, my phone. We're recording from my phone, so I can't show them. But
you'll just show me afterwards. But yeah, no, it's not Alfa Romeo, but their livery for the Las Vegas race was on point. I like a really good villain. I love a good villain so much. It's Red Bull.
I wouldn't even call him the villain. I mean,
Max is the villain.
Well,
he's getting kind of annoying.
Looking at it from the outside, you know, if this was with it being my first year,
if
I was looking at it more from the outside and not from the interest that I am an enthusiast on the inside, very much so. So like, there's more things that I can watch and understand right off the bat versus others, right?
Right.
At first, it was kind of like, yay, 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 yay. Who the fuck is this guy? He's a fucking NPC, blah, blah, blah. And like, I even think that he cusses like an NPC and everything, dude.
Oh, yeah, he can't curse, like, for shit.
My opinion of him at the start or in the middle of everything and him winning the championship like mid-season practically was kind of like, man, this kind of sucks to watch this for like my first year, but I understand racing is racing.
Was this your first entire year?
First entire year to watch multiple races back to back consecutively.
Really?
Like I said, this was going to be my year that I was going to start committing to it.
Yeah.
Like that's been just the biggest problem. It's like I want to watch it. I think it's kind of cool and I think it'd be interesting to get into, but I didn't find my way to commit to it until like now and being able to, you know, do so.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Max constantly winning is kind of annoying. I'm gonna roll back some opinions I had in previous seasons about Lewis, because now looking at this season, anything I said about like the seasons I watched of Lewis's dominance being boring, I take all that back. I want Mercedes Lewis domination now, because a lot of it was down to the wire.
Yeah.
You know, especially like, dude, the season where him and Max were like neck and neck, oh my God, that was probably the best season ever.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
And then Red Bull just goes and creates an absolute monster of a car. And honestly, like, the season's been kind of boring.
I mean, shout out to them though for being able to push the envelope of what the pinnacle of motorsports racing is supposed to be, right?
So actually, you know what? No, they're not my favorite team. I take that back. I'm walking that one back too.
Well, who is it then? Tell us. We want to know.
Probably, honestly, like, I just like watching the driving. I don't know if I could say I have one singular favorite team. But
Bruh.
Do you want me to just say it?
Yes.
McLaren followed by Mercedes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to say. They're tied together,
yeah.
so it's a great combination.
No, McLaren was in fourth.
No, I mean like in the sense that they're McLaren even outside of F1 uses Mercedes motors. So like, you know.
Oh, I think their cars are terrible.
Because like, think about it. Like, I like Ferrari.
Yeah.
Red Bull's using what, Honda motors still? Because last year they can use it.
This year, yeah, and then next year they have
Ferrari has their Ferrari motor. McLaren has Mercedes, and Mercedes has McLaren. So I had them on the list too.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, talking about McLaren,
AlphaTauri, Honda. So like, I'm Honda and Mercedes motors up.
So yeah, talking about like McLaren's actual road cars, I think they're terrible.
Research.
I've seen one up close, and I've seen some of the panel gaps on that thing, and it's really hard to ignore.
I love the 765 LT. I think it is an absolutely beautiful car. Sounds amazing, looks amazing. It seems like it does perform amazing, but
from about 15 feet away, they look amazing.
Whatever. Sure, it's going to have its gap, but it's truly, if you think about it though, and this is based upon, but recent, like I was saying earlier, sorry, let me retract something here. Research was telling me that McLarens are actually the last standing true exotic cars.
Why do you say that?
Because if you purchase one, like here in America, you can get them serviced and so forth. People know how to work on them, but they are it's not like buying a Lamborghini here. Like, there's not just Lamborghini, like McLaren dealerships to go to get your shit worked on. There's some in Texas. Okay.
I thought Lamborghini did have service.
Lamborghini has multiple ones across the nation. North Carolina, Texas, South Carolina, Florida, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But McLaren doesn't like that. Hell, even their top-notch supercars, hypercars, like you have to fly in a flying P1 and a flying mechanic to work on it.
Well, for sure for the F1. Like, Jay Leno has a single dude on call for his McLaren F1.
And arguably, there's several Ferrari cars, Porsche cars, whatever you could say, that are similar in that case. But a lot of those cars,
like, if you had an F40, would you take it to just any mechanic?
I mean, knowing me, I would probably try and change my own oil unless it was something very specific, right? Like,
it's probably something very specific.
Then there's a Ferrari dealership to take it to. Have it shipped there.
Yeah.
They can deal with flying out the person and the fact that I'm owning a Ferrari F40 at this point. Whatever. I'll pay whatever that guy needs to get his shit over here to do his stuff.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? But a McLaren, though, at that point, that's a flying mechanic at that point. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like flying mechanic. Done.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And there are like the small one-off shops, like I was saying, like UGR, which is Underground Racing, which is out in like North Carolina or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas. You have Edmund Motor Works, which they specialize in BMWs, but they have done exotic car work. Exotic as far as like the Bugatti Veyron that's here. They did the exhaust system on that. Shout out to Seth for those wicked photos. Yeah. So it's just that's what I've found out based upon my research. So if I were to be like, oh, I'm going to be a snob and actually own a supercar someday, I think it would probably be a McLaren.
Really? I mean, they're
it would probably be a McLaren just because they are the more affordable
choice in the
choice of supercars in that nature, but
you see, if I were to get an affordable supercar, it would be a R8.
Yeah.
Like that just an Audi R8. Like I'd be fine with that.
I mean, personally, Ferrari 458, 488 GTB, Spider, I'd be happy.
Yeah, a 458 Scud, or not a 458,
the one with more fly buttresses, such as the 88, or are you talking about
the one that came before the 458, F430, 430 Scud. Yeah, that's like my favorite Ferrari.
Okay, yeah.
So.
You drive it all the time on over here.
Yeah, I know. and then the next one's probably the Berlinetta.
Okay, I would definitely have to say my favorite Ferrari would be the 812. Well, I love the Ferrari F40, but the 812 Superfast or the F12 TDF, definitely my favorite. Probably the last. It's one of the last of the dying breed V12s. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, because everything's like twin turbo V8 now.
V6. Twin turbo V6.
Ferrari?
Yeah. What? The SF is a twin turbo V6 that makes like 1,000 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken.
Off. I don't care how much power it makes. It probably sounds like shit.
It's a hybrid. It is what it is, man. I mean, we're moving towards that world, and speaking of like hybrid stuff, the Formula E world, I kind of want to watch some of that stuff next year too.
I don't like Formula E. I just don't think the racing's good.
It's not so much about the racing for me that I would be watching. It'd probably be more about like what kind of racing engineer information comes out of it. Meaning like there's talk of them doing super fast chargers and making it a requirement. Obviously, there's so many other rules to the racing because they have like a boost section that's kind of like their DRS, but it's like you got to drive a different path and stuff. But
it's like did you ever play F-Zero back in the day? That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Yeah, same.
The energy,
the triangles.
well, that and like the little energy strips all along the track and stuff. Yeah.
But they're supposed to be implementing some kind of like supercharging system that's supposed to be effectively helping out electric cars as well down the road. So
I could do without all that. I don't like electric cars at all.
You know my stance on that. We can go into that, but that's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other episode, and it'll literally just me being everyone will think I'm some kind of crazy right winger because I'll start just. We're not getting political. We're not getting political.
But
anyway, so yeah, favorite teams, McLaren and Mercedes, probably top two. Favorite drivers this season, Lando. Lando's done really good this season. So same thing with Oscar, I think that's why. Well. They had a bad car at the beginning of the season.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Lando is not the amateur. Oscar is.
Yeah. Oscar Piastri. Lando's been in for at least like 4 or 5 years.
But Lando is considered car number 2 on the team.
No,
he's considered 1.
Yeah. He's their main driver.
I guess it was just that Oscar had pace then that one time, and they were like, let him go ahead, let him go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a whole pace thing.
Okay. I say this to say, though, as well, the vibes that I get from Lando is that he is a little brother on the grid. If there was one F1 driver that you could have partied with that night in Vegas, granted, I wish he wouldn't have had the wreck if he was wreck free. I would have loved to have partied with him.
He doesn't drink.
That's perfectly fine.
He can drive.
Hey, he's a badass driver. He could get us to A to B with no fucking problem. But even then, so I think he would be. He seems like he's a very bubbly personality and kind of like the little brother of the grid.
Yeah. And it's weird because it didn't really seem like him and Daniel really got along that well whenever Daniel was at McLaren. But also, if you look at the circumstances of Daniel's time in McLaren as well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
When Sainz was at McLaren, that was hilarious. Carlando.
Oh my god.
That was good.
That sounds loco pollo already.
El pollo loco.
Yeah, El Pollo Loco.
Isn't that one of those restaurants that got shut down?
Well, I don't know if it got shut down, but it's still out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I liked Lando a lot this season. I think he did really well.
But who would you have partied with?
Probably Yuki.
Hey,
Probably
he was definitely he had a good
Yuki.
race.
Yeah,
He had a good race.
He did have a good race. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Yuki was probably my number 2 this whole season.
Because that was like
He
points
really,
number 1 from, or like a few, or
it was
or did that move them up the constructor?
I think it did.
I think so.
Maybe.
I think it did.
No, well, because they were in last for like most of the season.
And then Ricardo came in, got some points. Out of the 3 races, I think that he drove.
I think so.
Yeah, got some points somewhere in there. And so did, or Yuki. I don't know. It's been kind of this back and forth thing where it's like Yuki had carried the team to some degree at one point. Well, he's been, honestly, shout out to Yuki, man. Yuki did a really amazing thing as a young driver to be able to experience having so many different teammates that, you know, he was able to just maintain, keep cool, and actually grow from it, if you ask me. I think that next year Yuki should be a hell of a driver. I think that Checo needs to get his shit together, even though he got second place. I hope that
Cheers to
McLaren. Well, hang on. I actually still. Oh no, that's empty.
Oh well, there you go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, cheers to Checo getting his shit together.
Yeah, cheers to Checo.
Like, look,
getting
okay,
his shit
Checo's
together.
not a bad driver. He's a really good driver, and especially before he joined Red Bull. Like, he very much was able to take a car that wasn't that good with the what was it even back then? Was it still Force India or
Yeah.
the pink car, the pink Mercedes?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was.
Because that was the team that morphed into Aston Martin.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Which Force India had some crazy shit behind it too.
Yeah. See now that one I know about, and it's
wild.
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's I don't know which is wilder though, the Force India thing or the Rich Energy thing with Haas.
I mean, Haas was already involved in creating that kind of stuff anyway, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? What do you do? You don't tell. I don't know.
A big sponsor, no.
Well, I mean, like they unlike Red Bull. Well, I can't say unlike Red Bull. Unlike Alfa Romeo. Romeo. Unlike Alfa.
Yeah. Alfa Romeo or Alfa Tauri?
Alfa Romeo. Because Alfa Tauri is still linked with Red Bull, and Red Bull is like a worldwide recognized thing.
Brand,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can go to Japan and I can find Red Bull. I can go to India and I can find Red Bull.
Well, it started in Thailand, didn't it?
Well, I think it was he picked up the flavor from like China, but it was a guy from either New Zealand or Australia that made it.
It's a lot of silence. Long pause.
I was trying to think of
long pause.
Damn it! Don't make this awkward.
Long pause.
Bruh. I was seriously, but no.
We got to make this funny somehow.
Damn it, man! I forget what I was saying. Now.
I forgot. He died last year?
I wasn't talking about the Red Bull guys.
Who are you talking about? Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, and what was the other team we were talking about originally? Haas.
Haas.
There we
go.
So like Red Bull and Haas is like a worldwide recognized thing, meaning that like Haas might be more recognized under like for metal manufacturer of stuff.
Yeah.
Versus
CNC machines
Red Bull being
and
known
like
for their energy drinks.
Yeah.
But it's something that's more worldwide recognized. So for that to happen to them, it's kind of like, I get it.
That's a weird thing about Haas too, is like you'd think they'd have more money to put into their F1 program because, I mean, you could.
Not now with like war going on. Like, I mean, sure, like you would think war would be the time to go ahead and have all these kinds of things made, but it's.
No. War makes money. That's the thing that sucks about war. It makes money. But no, like even then, like there's just companies out there that need CNC machines and lathes and stuff like that. I think that I think right now they just make CNC machines.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's companies all over the place that make CNC machines. Hell, there's where I work, there's in one of the other buildings, there's like 4 or 5 or 6 different Haas machines, and they're like hundreds of $1,000s a piece,
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Yeah. And that's just in one section of
Easily.
That's just in one small section of the place that I work. That's only one of the back shops. There's multiple back shops with Haas machines where I work. So
I want to add one more layer to this F1 cake that we've been baking here.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that, also kind of how we were just now talking about like Haas and their kind of world effect and so forth. There's also some value in knowing that kind of information for people that like to invest in stocks and stuff, which is kind of why this is that kind of rich man sport, if you will, they say.
I didn't even think about it like that.
No, I mean, like, if you really think about it, like, that's kind of a thing to think about.
No, I need to get on my Robinhood app. Holy shit.
Robinhood, sponsor us.
Not sponsored by Robinhood.
Not sponsored by Robinhood.
I don't think I know any podcasts that are sponsored by the Robinhood app, actually.
I bet if we looked hard enough, we could find one.
Probably, yeah. It's probably some financial podcast or something like that. Or that dude that audits people like live and just roasts their financial decisions, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'll watch clips from that dude, so I feel less bad about my shitty financial decisions.
Oh, bruh. Oh my God. Speaking of shitty financial decisions, I've got to prepare to make my first one to start building the 240.
Yeah, what are you gonna buy?
I need to go ahead and probably just order my cams. Just go ahead and bite the bullet, get it out of my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did with the first half of my handbrake stuff. So, yeah. GK Tech, baby. But the other half isn't going to be GK Tech. I'm doing the Villains kit.
Okay.
Because it's just like the caliper they use is it's a front replacement for like people that restore Volkswagen Karmann Gias, because it's still
The hell is a Karmann Gia?
You don't know what a Volkswagen Karmann Gia is? I'm gonna show you. We'll put one up right there for the people that don't know.
Sorry, Drew.
This is like way older than this is like Beetle era, like original.
Okay, yeah. So then it's fair that I don't know this. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
but yeah,
Never
like OE replacement front calipers, because they were drums in the rear.
Okay.
But they still had a 2-piston caliper up front, and so you add that in the back. It's perfect for a.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a Z32 rear brake. It's literally a 2-piston squeezy boy.
Oh, cool.
And if it's just plumbed to the handbrake, like it works perfectly. I think Tony has it on his car. Actually, Tony's my setup is going to be the exact same as like on Tony's car. Okay. Because he also has the GK Tech handle.
Yeah.
And everything. So.
Yes, sir.
Actually, he was talking about it in the group chat, saying that I'll probably have to reinforce the transmission tunnel. Maybe.
I've been sick. I thought that, oh man, proof that I've been sick. I thought the whole entire time that transmission conversation was directed to Austin, since he had the last person I knew that was having transmission issues, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, Austin does need a new transmission.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know he needs a new transmission, but I thought that there was talk of like the Z32 kit or something.
Oh, no, there was. That was like earlier in the week.
See, dude, this is what I'm saying.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Motherfucker been out.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah. Sometimes I space out. Sometimes it's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, like for real though. Big shout out to GK Tech. They make really awesome stuff. Like, I have all of their rear arms on the car, and their roll center correction kit for angle, and it does pretty well. I need to do some aligning on the front. I need more caster. So, but yeah, their stuff's really good. The handle feels good. It's beautiful.
It looks good.
Yeah. I got the blue, of course. That's gonna be that's like my accent color on the inside, because my quick release is also that same like anodized blue. So it matches like 1-for-1, so it's like perfect.
Nice.
And their little their bracket, like the mounting bracket for it, You don't have to cut the center console out or anything.
Really? It just like bolts into the...
It kind of like bends down and follows the bend of the transmission tunnel.
Okay.
So, and then comes out. So the handle, it doesn't stick up. The handle's actually about like when I'm sitting in it, it's like I don't know, you've been in my car, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's the top of the handle is a lot closer to my shifter than like say Ben's handle is.
Oh yeah.
So like I can literally go from my shifter to the handle like this rather than going like this. Mm-hmm. It'd be more like this almost.
You know, I like Dyson's handbrake. I like his flat hydro.
Oh yeah, the pull-up style. Yeah. I thought he switched. No, he still has the pull-up, right?
He still has pull-up.
Okay, yeah. His and his reasoning for that is very interesting. So the way he feels, and I guess it kind of makes sense because he is kind of a skinnier guy, which is kind of weird that Ben doesn't feel this way about it. But the way he feels about it is that pulling an upright style handbrake like that, it pulls you out of the seat, and I don't think it's his whole entire reasoning behind it.
No, but I get it.
But I just heard him talking about it once, and that like when you're pulling up on it like that, it kind of keeps you more planted.
Yeah, I mean I can see it, and
it does make sense.
I will say, obviously you want to make sure you're very tight in your seat. Number one, and that'll always not happen regardless of if you're pulling it or pulling it. But I've noticed that even in my sim, is my handbrake is way the fuck off in terms of realism, in terms of spacing. But I've had that kind of happen to me where I'm like mid drift, I go and reach for it, I'm like, that finger. You know,
that's the other cool thing about the GK Tech one, because it does kind of have to curve. The mount has to curve away from the like kind of follow the curve of the trans tunnel, kind of stick out a little bit. It's really close to the steering wheel. Like really close to the steering wheel.
I mean, your aftermarket wheel, is it a 350 wheel or is it a 330?
350.
Oh, damn, yeah, you got big boy.
I like bigger wheels. Boy. Or actually, no, hold on. I got to look it up now. Because I think it might be a 330. It might be a 330. Hold on. Talk about something.
Do. Okay. Well, I guess this is my time to shine and go ahead and talk about my car a little bit and talk about myself. Hey, guys, if you're watching this right now, you're looking at me, Jeremy, a.k.a. Marakai Boy, a.k.a. Orca Ninja, a.k.a. too many AKAs to name, so we're just going to go ahead and say what we got to say here. So, if you're listening to me, go ahead and check out my YouTube channels at slammedia.co, SLAMDLYFE, because there's some end-of-the-year footage and stuff coming out. And I'd love for you guys to take part in enjoying how this year went with me. Okay, let's get back.
Jeremy puts out some bangers. Go follow him, please.
Gang.
It's a 350 millimeter, so it is bigger.
Okay,
but I'm okay with that. I like the feel of the 350 a lot better.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, I think the other wheel that I had in it was 350 as well. So, yeah.
Well, sir, I think we covered a good amount of F1, both personal flavor, a little bit of the racing, a little bit of this and that, and some in between.
Bunch of ADHD tangents.
And fucking Mother Nature interrupted us. This is our first video podcast. And we made it.
Yep.
We made it.
We did it.
Shouts out, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers. And to end us off, as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Be kind to each other. Follow your dreams. Do that shit. Don't give up. And trust me, we know it's hard, but 2024 coming, baby. Let's go.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Peace.